Ho ho ho, and welcome to the Noot News Christmas special. I'm joined with my co-host, of course, Brody Richards,
Ho 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 indeed to you. And a Merry Christmas.
and to you too, Dicko.
Yeah. What have we got on tonight?
Well, we've had a bit of a change in our programming. As you can see, we're not in the studio. We're actually in the Mogwai mansion. We will touch down on that a little bit later. What else do we have though?
We are doing a Christmas special though, so that means all of our topics will be a bit festive. So, except for one. Uh,
One's not too good. One's a
No.
little bit sour.
Bit spoiled if you ask me.
There's no point crying over spilt milk though.
Yeah. Well, that being said, we are reporting on a Moo Moo Milk scandal. Obviously, you won't know what Moo Moo Milk is right away, but you will learn more about that soon. And I'm doing a mini topic on a man who took the Grinch movie a bit too seriously.
I am very excited to hear about this. You've been talking it up all week.
Yeah, what else have we got under the tree for today?
Of course, Alan's going to talk a bit about sports. A couple of stars you may know are venturing into some new territory, I guess. There's also been two fishermen that have had a bit of an encounter. We'll touch base on that as well a bit later on.
Yeah.
Right, now let's go to what should be a smaller topic, but is instead almost a special inside the Mogwai mansion. Let's have a look. As you can see, we're in the Mogwai mansion, which is not what we originally had planned. But our temp Peter, who we put into the gang to sort of get some information for us, has actually been able to give us clearance into the building. This is a very exciting moment, but also a very dangerous moment for us, as we could be discovered at any moment. Obviously, tonight's scheduling for the program will be a little bit different, as we can't be in the studio and we will have to film it all here. Previously, last episode, Brody had reported on this place. Want to give us a bit of a rundown?
Yeah, the Mogwai Mansion was a suspected gang which was run within a hotel sort of thing. But as we can see, it seems more like a giant library, obviously, from our backdrop behind us. But everything was more alleged and suspecting because they were doing really well hiding what they had.
Nobody wanted to question them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And from what we know, they could be paying off people as well. I think
We did even find documents that seemed to confirm they were paying off some officers that were in the SRPD law enforcement. So,
which is unfortunate because the SRPD is what we use for our protection in stuff we need. But this Mogwai Mansion was something I reported on recently because it become under the headlight of news and all that.
it was an arson attack, wasn't it?
Yeah. Their opposing gang, the Revs, had tried to arson bomb them in order to try and burn a substantial amount of this building.
That's sort of how we came in. Peter showed us there was a little bit that still hadn't been patched up.
Yeah,
That's how we
it
grabbed our
was
way
in the lobby area. There was a big boarded up area, just like when we saw with the guy that ran into the building. They had a similar sort of setup with that, boards up against the walls and all that. But clearly, it hasn't stopped anything. They
Clearly
have
still operating,
Christmas decorations set up within, which is kind of fitting.
It helps us out.
Yeah, but it does kind of ask, do they do it to try and
Keep up appearances.
Yeah.
People think it's still just running as a hotel, Christmas themed.
But this is more your story, so I'll let you get back to your discussion.
So it is clearly still under operations here. We haven't encountered, but we've seen passing through hallways some of who we believe to be members of the Mogwai gang, which is not good for us. I tell you, my heart was pounding. You look pretty ghostly pale. It was not good. The burger in your pocket was creasing when we were trying to creep away from some of these people. It's been very scary, but as journalists, I want to present you, the public, with the most, proper news we can, and just for you guys to be safe.
Yeah, I genuinely probably turned as white as my shirt.
Definitely.
But we've seen some pretty damning stuff in here.
100%.
Like, I'm sure we'll put it into
We
this
could insert
video.
some photos of what we
Yeah.
found. We found files, evidence we saw what we believe to be, evidence from a heist that they did at this place, the Bull Bank. If anybody remembers that whole debacle back in the day.
Yeah. I and obviously as of this broadcast, our temp Peter, who the gang had unfortunately given the nickname to him as Gay Peter.
That's so unfitting. I don't like that
Yeah.
they did that to him.
I mean, he was an unfortunately more not so dominant male.
Fruity fella.
Yeah. Uh, but from what we could tell, that his name didn't match his appearance.
As you can see in the Mogwai mansion, what we have here are the seven dwarf masks that were used in the infamous Bullbank heist. Not only is this pretty damning evidence that it was them, but they also seem to be using them as trophies, almost like a display piece in their mansion. Make of that as what you will.
I mean, where were we? Sorry. Obviously, this is a very active environment, and we have had to move into a more secluded area, which, but we were discussing how we've seen some pretty damning evidence.
100%. So obviously we saw the masks that were used in that Bullbank heist.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of pay slips that seem to be going to the SRPD.
Yeah.
Obviously paying them off, which is unfortunate because a lot of those people were trusted officers, highly regarded by the public, which have now. We're not going to expose the names here, but it seems like they've been in their pocket the whole time.
Yeah, and this could only be the tip of the iceberg. I mean, um, obviously we can't go and report this stuff to the authorities because the evidence we've found, yes, it is incriminating,
But
but
it's
the way we
incriminating for us.
found it is rather unfortunate. Um, because we could be charged with trespassing, or
I almost think I can hear somebody being tortured right now. Should we cover what we found in that room?
yeah. Um, unfortunately, we found about 3 rooms in the quick haste we could search. We found one. You went into one room. What'd you
It was
see?
it was horrible. There was this chair in the middle,
Yeah.
and it seemed to have spots where people had been taped down. You could see there was people trying to break out of it, and there was just a big saw blade at the base of the chair where the person would sit, and
Mm.
there was those mirrors for like interrogation, so they could watch. And there was a big speaker where they could, what I'm guessing is ask questions to the person in the chair.
So, do you think that type of torture is their base level interrogation? Because
There was
didn't
more
you
rooms. I just
say? Because I saw one similar, but it didn't have a saw blade. It just seemed, and it didn't have like the one-way glass sort of thing. It just was a blank room with a singular chair. With so you, I think they use like 2 different types of rooms. One where it's base level, then one where they could
bring it
be
further to the guests that don't
torturing
comply.
genitalia or whatever.
Definitely.
But you, because we split up for a moment, and you said you found another room with like,
Well, how are we going to forget? We both met up in this big freezer that was filled with eggs.
yeah, I mean, because obviously once we split up to cover as much ground as we could, as you found that, I found an area that was basically really classic movie sort of stuff with a giant tank of piranhas. Um, so I'm not entirely sure what that could have been or what it could mean. Um, but I find it interesting
Were they?
how
Did they seem to be kept for pets? Was it like a
I don't know. It was about a swimming size pool tank
right
with piranhas. I mean, you see that in like
James Bond or something?
John, yeah, or
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby.
Do I make you horny, baby? Um,
And then we met in the middle in this big refrigerated room that was stockpiled wall to wall eggs, you know, all sorts of poultry items like eggs, raw eggs, cracked. There was a whole section labeled double yolk experiments. It seems like they're making their own double yolked eggs.
didn't you also find like a punnet, just a giant punnet of like tomatoes too?
There was
Not
tomatoes.
not many, not as much as the eggs, but this seems very similar to something we saw back in our early years of
Reporting.
journalism
Yeah.
with uh, a suspected sort of character, so much like Jack the Ripper, a man who can
We
never
haven't
have a
covered him in a while
face to
because
the
he
name.
seems to have gone away. His name's Greenwood Murray. You may remember previous reports, but
or may not if you were more modern.
It's strange because I was when you said that, it just sort of occurred to me. We stopped recording on him. He went away when the Mogwai mansion opened.
Yeah. So could it be that the three nipple murderer has ties or works within the Mogwai mansion now?
He could be getting paid by him.
Well, I mean, I guess could it's only a question time can tell, or we may never find an answer.
No, I mean, we could keep trying to dig, but I think we have to get back to the program. Let's cut back to that.
Yeah. Well, the Christmas special was originally meant to be recorded, and this is obviously based before because we've only come in here rather recently. We've been here for about an hour or so, but we'll find a really secluded space where we'll be able to record the rest of the video because with the sudden change of plans, I don't think we'll be able to do it in our current time frame back at the studio. So looks like hopefully we'll be able to, and the rest of the video will. But I'm sure.
To get the program out.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, it's very interesting. Yeah, I mean that was really interesting. Obviously, those events have completely led to change of scenery here now.
Yeah.
Obviously, usually we like our other episodes and the Halloween special, we're usually in the studio. But today, with the change of sudden scenery,
Something's come up. Obviously,
yeah,
had to be here.
but obviously it's kind of like an honor sitting here doing this, and obviously not planned. But that all being said, next up is Moo Moo Milk. This one was a bit more unfortunate, not as jolly and festive.
This one does not have any happy vibes about it.
No.
This was not a present underneath the tree.
Yeah, our main antagonist of this story most definitely will be getting coal in his stocking today. And I do hope that the affected families will have a very festive Christmas to make up for
They
this.
deserve very full stockings.
Yeah. So
Right.
let's get
Let's
into that
take a
with
look.
the Moo Moo Milk scandal.
As you can see, we're currently on our Christmas break, but when this story broke through, we just had to report on it. Moo Moo Milk is the dairy company based in Algeria. The owner, Mohammed, has gotten himself into quite the sex scandal, which has been a disaster, quite frankly, for the whole company.
Yeah, Mohammed was caught in a cheating scandal that caused a small outbreak of chlamydia within the company. Quite a few employees were caught with this from the spread from Mohammed to then families and all that, which caused the small outbreak. Doing this, there was a lack of staffing, which means products and all that weren't coming out further. Also, when a lot of companies heard about this, including ourselves, they stopped continuing business with Moo Moo Milk. You said that we tried contacting the owner, Mohammed.
Yeah, I tried to get into contact with Mohammed, but I got redirected to his lawyer. His lawyer is named Paul Goodman. We've worked with him before. Paul is a reputable lawyer, but I don't know what he's thinking with this case. I do have a snippet from the call that sort of explains where Mohammed stands in this whole situation. Let's listen to that.
Mohammed pleads the fifth.
Like I had previously mentioned, we as Noot have stopped doing business with Moo Moo Milk. We had previously used them for our supplying in the Noot Tower, in the cafeteria and all that, and in other spin-off branches with Noot. Though we are now needing a company supplier for milk, which is a bit of a weird statement to make as a big company, but we are semi-desperate. If anyone is an employee of a trustworthy company that won't be getting themselves in any scandals anytime soon, and or is an owner of one, please come and contact us at 113-6969 Noot. I'll say that again for you, 113-6969 Noot. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I mean, they can also contact us at our email, noot.incorporated@gmail. Any other inquiries about the story, we'll be happy to reply. Other than that, stay safe and maybe change your milk provider.
It is unfortunate to see a dairy empire go belly up just because the founder couldn't keep it in his pants, but
Yeah, I mean, because of this, employees of the company are going to be out of a job.
yeah. I mean, hopefully there's still enough milk for Santa to enjoy on Christmas Eve, but even if Moo Moo Milk can't supply it, there is quite literally a company out there called Cookies and Milk.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're up and coming, but I mean,
In all honesty, it would be nice to maybe partner with them one day.
yeah, I mean, like I said, we are looking. So if anyone doesn't have any connections to Cookies and Milk,
Just give us a ring.
they seem like with the festive season approaching, well,
Prime
not
business time
approaching,
for them.
it's here. They seem perfectly suited, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think all they have to do is give us a ring and we could start something big.
Yeah, so again, if anyone knows or is an employee of one, just contact us at 113-6969 Noot. That's 113-6969 Noot. Now, on other news, I would now like to introduce our next segment of the evening. This one is one that I reported on, and it is pretty interesting.
You could say that again.
Yeah. This guy also, what is he getting for Christmas?
A little bit of coal in that stocking.
Exactly. This man quite literally took the festive season a bit too seriously and took the Grinch movies a bit more seriously than what he should, with reports of him actually planning to steal Christmas.
Maybe movies are a bad influence after all.
I guess it just goes on the audience, but in the end, his plans, spoiler alert, have been foiled.
I'm glad about that though, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, at least it's a wrap.
Let's take a look.
A local man has decided to take it upon himself to take the Grinch movies a bit too seriously. He decided that why not, and decided to ransack a bunch of houses and cause thousands of dollars in damage to presents, decorations, and just the household itself. He actually went along and did this to 3 houses before police caught him on the scene. They also searched his house and found plans for a larger operation, should we say, where he was going to use a couple dogs he had adopted weeks before from RSPCA and a giant comically large vacuum, which he thought he could use to suck up gifts, but hopefully he'll later realise that it's the season of giving and not taking, and that hopefully with his actions failing, he's come to realise this. And I'm glad that the families have had compensation by him for the damages he caused, and that proper action was done in this. So as sad as this is, it's also a good sign, and I hope everyone has a good Christmas.
I tell you, he's certainly on the naughty list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely grateful for Christmas to be continued and no one's decorations being stolen.
100%. And now let's go to the world of ADW. As the season's over, some of the stars have been feeling a bit bored and wanted to try their hand at a new sport.
Yeah, I mean, Alan reports further on this topic, but this is one that I did find interesting.
Definitely.
I mean, ADW's over for this season, but I'm also excited to see that break because I know what is hopefully coming starting next season.
Definitely.
Long Dong.
Mr. Silver.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your holidays. Tonight, as the ADW season comes to a close, some of the stars are relaxing and taking some time off for the holidays. But I've gotten word that two of the largest stars in the ADW have decided to take up golfing over the break. These stars are none other than Dixie Normus and Hugh Jass. Dixie, of course, is known for his great strength. This will surely make him great at driving on the course. When asked about the change, the stars said they were confident they would impact the golf world in a great way. Much like Mr. Silver, who is spending time off with his family, I will be returning to Antarctica for 2 weeks to spend time with my lovely wife and 2 children for Christmas. I look forward to bringing them gifts and can't wait to be back working with you boys. Happy holidays, everyone.
I mean, this will be an interesting change of pace for the all-time stars. I mean, like, obviously, I hope we don't see sort of a Happy Gilmore sort of incident with
Definitely.
them.
But they are filming a Happy Gilmore too, so maybe history will repeat itself. That movie has a happy ending, though.
Yeah.
Unless you're Carl Weathers. And I believe we have time for just one more story.
Yeah. Well, this one was interesting, and it seemed very spur of the moment.
It was on the fly.
It was.
Like
it
where
was
the crocodile got him.
very much on our day off. We encountered these two unfortunate fishermen who had a bit of a close encounter. Much like us, we've also had a close encounter, but theirs was a bit more aquatic than extraterrestrial.
Definitely.
So Seth reported on that one, didn't
They had
you?
a story to tell, and we're here to tell it to you. So let's have a look.
Yeah. Right.
I'm here with 2 local fishermen. They were fishing down at Port Noarlunga at about 2 p.m. today, where they accidentally caught something they didn't want to find. A crocodile, and it has jumped up, and it's bitten the gentleman to my left. It's ripped his shorts clean off. Let's just say they're lucky to make it out with their lives. Ain't that right? Yeah. Back to you in the studio.
As you can see, been a very eventful episode. We didn't think it would turn out this way, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, I mean, an obvious change of scenery, and some interesting topics.
A big development in the whole gang war case that's been going on between the Revs
and a big update in our personal world. Obviously, we usually do report when things change with Noot, but this one wasn't so good for us. It was
this was definitely a tough thing to work through, but we will work through it and we will keep bringing you episodes.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, so we covered multiple things today.
As you can see, in a very eventful episode, but a great Christmas special, and I'm glad it's turned out the way it has.
Yeah, I mean, it's been obviously very festive, as
very
you can
jolly.
clearly see.
Got the nice Grinch sweater on.
Yeah, not always so jolly throughout this, but although I'm very grateful, and I hope that everyone who's watching this does have a very pleasant Christmas.
Me too. And although, Gay Peter, I know you're watching, obviously you can't be with us anymore. I thank you for the sweater. We thank you for all the gifts you brought us. We thank you for your help in this case. You've made a major breakthrough. Merry Christmas to you, Peter. Merry Christmas to everybody watching at home.
And we hope that our gift to you is that once we can finally assure that you're in safety, you can eventually have a part as a full-time Noot member.
Hopefully he can come back, because he was great. He did wonders for us.
I mean, obviously he's allowed us entry into here, and
he risked his life for us, you know. He's a great guy.
It is the least we can do. We are in debt to him for
Eternally
this story.
in his debt.
Yeah, he has given us this gift of
the best gift we got for Christmas would be this,
the Mogwai Mansion segment.
100%. This is something no other journalists have been here. So
Yeah.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you all.
And like Santa getting his cookies for Christmas, I have a nice Zinger burger, so I'll definitely get into this.
Guess Christmas has come early for you, hasn't it, Dicko?
Mm-hmm.